Yeah, so as you saw in the video, EC2 is a general purpose cloud computing service. You can use it for so many different applications. And it kind of highlights a lot of the key benefits of cloud computing, right? The flexible pricing, the idea of using remote servers, right? So you don't have to set up your own on premise or private data center. EC2 is a great example of the power of cloud computing. So anytime you see underlined text, just do know that is a link. This is a link to AWS resources. So Amazon Elastic Cloud Compute, or Amazon EC2, provides secure, resizable compute capacity in the cloud as Amazon EC2 instances. So you can start up basically your application or your workflow or your processing, right? Whatever you're doing, whatever kind of computation you're performing, you're going to do it on something called an instance. So an instance is going to run on those remote servers, right? Sometimes it'll use one server, right? Sometimes it'll be working with multiple, depending on how much compute work you're doing over that instance. So it's a virtual server, right? It's not an actual server, so that's why I say it could be one or many different servers. So an EC2 instance is a virtual server provided by AWS. It's part of AWS's infrastructure as a service offerings. So you get full control over the servers, configuring the system, storage, networking. You get to fine tune everything, right? So you do have to manage and configure. Remember, platform as a service, you don't have to do that management side of things. You kind of just upload your code and you're up and running. So use cases, they include web hosting, software development, testing, data processing, machine learning, enterprise applications, etc. So it's general purpose. You can use it for pretty much anything. So how Amazon EC2 instance works. So first you launch an instance, you go to AWS, you go to the EC2 service, you select a template. We're actually going to be doing that this week for our lab. We're going to configure some of the settings, such as operating system, the servers, and maybe the type of apps we're going to be using. We're going to select an instance type, so different instance types for different needs. So yeah, based on your compute, memory, and storage needs. Remember, these are some of the basic kind of resources or types of computational resources you might buy from AWS. So at the store, right, at a grocery store, you're buying produce. At AWS, right, you're buying memory, storage, computation, and so forth. So you're going to select the instance type, which is just basically the hardware configuration of your instance. So connect to the instance. So that's step 2. So once you've done your configurations, you're ready to host your application on the EC2 instance. So if you want to actually connect to it, you can use SSH. You can use RDP for Windows-based instances. You don't have to know what these are, right? These are just different connection methods so that you plug into that remote virtual server. Of course, Amazon also offers its own tool, which is AWS Systems Manager, Session Manager, which provides a secure way to connect to instances without needing to set up or really know about SSH or RDP. So those are just secure connection methods so that you can securely connect to those remote servers. And then step 3, of course, is using the instance. So once you've connected to it, you can start using it. So you can run commands, install software, change the files. It depends largely on what you need. So once it's running, like I said, if you need more resources, it is possible, right? Some of the tools that actually help you automatically set up how many resources you need is AWS autoscaling. You can also use CloudWatch to monitor your performance to see how your instance is doing. Is it running? Is it crashing? Does it need more resources, etc.? So a little review, remember. What is AWS selling us? Well, it's selling us computing resources. What are the main types? We have compute. So that's for processing data, making calculations. We have memory resources. So that's for high-speed storage. Think really quick database operations. Maybe you're doing some really heavy graphics processing, right, where you need to put the pixels on the screen, or do some like computer physics, typical in video games. Networking resources, so that's to manage data transfer and connectivity, and then storage resources, that's if you need to just save files and backup systems. Let's get to the next slide. So we have another video. Go ahead and watch that video and we'll pick up right after.